Alright, it's day number 78 of my talking in front of the camera, trying to enhance my ability to speak English and improve my colloquial English. And today I'm going to talk about deforestation, and it's pretty strange words that I have never seen in my life, I guess. And it's about cutting down the forest, you know. So yeah, I'm going to talk about it today. And by the way, today I didn't write a text about this topic because I realized that it will be more smart to write one text per 3 days, then work with it for 2 days. Like I allocate time in one day to write a text, then 2 days to work with that text, to analyze each word, to work improved version of my text that ChatGPT provided me, and then I will remember more of vocabulary, of structures, of sentence structures, and then I can write one more text. And also I'm not really sure that I would be able to write a good text about deforestation, because I have some thoughts, but I'm not sure that my vocabulary is pretty good concerning this topic. And also, by the way, I don't know, let me just talk a bit, and then I'll start with those questions. Usually when I write a text, I have no idea what should I write at all, and I just come up instantly what should I write, and as a result I'm getting the text like B1, B1 plus, or even B2, as I managed to write yesterday. So yeah, pretty strange, but it works. So let's just get started. Let's talk about nature and trees. Does your country have a lot of forests? Yes, definitely. For example, I live not really in a big town, and there are a bunch of trees, a bunch of forests around me. And even if we are talking about a bigger city, there are no forests, of course. And even in my city, there are no forests. It's like neighboring forest in neighboring villages, towns, And of course, in bigger cities, there are no forests, but there are a bunch of trees, and near to them, if it's a smaller town, it could potentially has a forest. So there are a lot of nature, to be honest, and including trees. Alright, do you enjoy spending time in nature? Yes, yes. By the way, when I was a child, I'm not sure about that, but I didn't really like it. But now I realize that it's so chilling. It's another atmosphere. It's fresh air, and you can clean your mind, just reset it, to return home and to be full of energy, full of power to do something. So I definitely like nature, and I like to spend some time there from time to time. All right, are forests popular place? Huh? Are forests popular places to visit in your country? Not really. Alright, I'm going even to talk more about Ukraine, because now I was talking about Belgium, but I have no idea at all about it in Belgium. Like, do people like it or no? So in Ukraine, when I was, it wasn't something ubiquitous, to be honest. That someone spent a lot of time in forest, so it wasn't really popular place. Sometimes there are a lake, and this lake is surrounded by forest. And in this case, I can say that people spend time to swim a bit near to the lake, not in the forest, and I can count it as a popular place to visit. So it definitely wasn't, and I don't really think that it became a bit more popular than it was in the past. So it's not really a popular place to visit. All right, have you ever planted a tree? No, I thought. By the way, I don't remember, but I guess no, because whether I, I have seen how someone planted the tree, or I was near to someone who planted the tree, uh, but I definitely remember something like this. I guess I just saw it, but in my life, no, I have never planted a tree, and I guess in the future I'll try to do it. It sounds good, and especially for the nature, I guess it will be useful. Alright, let's move on and describe a natural place like a forest or park that is important to you. You should say where it is, what it looks like, what you do there, and explain why this place is important to you. Alright, I'm going to talk just when we are talking about forest. The first place that I caught myself. Alright, let me continue. So, the first idea that I caught myself with is a forest in Ukraine, and that forest was in front of my grandparents' house, and it was a huge forest, and I really like to spend some time there. I went there with my grandpa, and we went for a walk with a dog. We gather. How does it call? No, no, I remember this word. I don't remember. Um, Mushrooms, yeah, definitely. We gathered mushrooms, and it was a great time spending. We walked there from time to time, and it really associates in my mind with something positive, and that forest is something really cool. It's the nature that is, kind of jungle, but a bit simple, I have never been to jungle. Wait, am I right? Let me check. Sometimes I pronounce, yeah, jungle. Sometimes I pronounce some words and I'm not sure about their meaning. I think that probably it's something another, and I have to recheck those words. But yeah, I was right. And the only reason why do I like that place is because I spent there some time with my grandpa when we walked with the dog, and I really enjoyed the time. So nowadays it's impossible because my grandparents live in Belgium, I also live in Belgium, and I think my grandparents are going to return when the war will be ended, but I'm not sure about me, and I'm not the child to have so much time just to arrive to spend several days there. So it's my childhood memories, definitely, and it's pretty warm memories. Alright, let's move on. Let's talk more about deforestation and environmental protection. Yep. What threats are posed by deforestation? I'm afraid this question. If if I'd so I afraid this question if I would write the text, because I know how to say, but I don't know how to say it in English, to be honest. But alright, let me just try. So if you're talking about threats by deforestation, I can definitely mention that it kills our nature. It's less than oxygen. It's less oxygen in our environment, in our air, and it's really bad. Also, in forests, there are living a lot of different animals, and cutting down those trees at the same time, uh, you are broken some houses of those animals, and it's definitely bad because as a result. They can just die because of that, because they lost their surroundings. There are a lot of food for someone to I mean, for some animals to feed themselves, and yeah, it's like a huge trouble for animals who live in those forests, and also it's a trouble for the nature. Unfortunately, I can't describe specifically what kind of troubles can we get, but obviously it's a trouble. I just in the past I was learning about this topic, but I really forgot about this kind of consequences. So yeah, let's move on. I guess I have to repeat a bit about it because it's kind of interesting question to be aware what kind of uh, problems, what is the severity of the problem by deforestation. Alright, are there alternatives to cutting down forests for resources or space? I'm not sure that usually it was done for space. There are a bunch of space without cutting the trees, and especially if you're talking about Ukraine, it's more for resources, not for space. Cutting down those trees, and I'm not sure about alternatives. I'll be honest, I don't know. I'm just not the person who understands something in this question and who can answer about it. Yeah, it's a bit hard to answer those questions when there's some screaming in the background, because well, when my siblings are at home, it's kind of impossible to record this video without any troubles. So let's move on. What can the average citizen do to help reduce deforestation? It's a good question because I think that a regular, just average citizen, he don't participate in this to cut down some trees uh, to make this create this deforestation. I guess more government participate in this case, and I'm not sure that a regular person is able to do something like it's possible to write a list to get some signs from different people that you are against it and that you have to save it, to save the forest, for example, near to your town, and probably it will work. It might work. I'm not sure about that, but generally, if you are a regular citizen, I guess the best you can do is really plant one tree. As I mentioned in the beginning, didn't uh, I didn't done it in my life, but I hope in the future I will, because in my case I'm not sure that I helped someone, and I guess even to reduce deforestation, people should use less furniture from that was made by trees. Furniture, yeah, and probably as a result, the demand for that stuff will be less, and as a result, less trees will be cut to get that furniture from the wood, you know. Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's a great question. If I write the text, I would think about it deeper, but now I have just to talk about it, express my thoughts. So yeah, it's something kind of things that probably are gonna help, but I'm not sure about it, to be honest. All right, do governments in your country take deforestation seriously? Deforestation. Um, Alright, I'm going to talk about Ukraine because the Belgium is a pretty small country, and this country definitely didn't face with such problem. Um, but in Ukraine, yeah, it takes seriously, to be honest. But I don't know about nowadays condition. How does work? Do they still cut down trees, like forests or no? But in the past, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, it was a ubiquitous issue, and a lot of people started to pay attention to this, and they tried somehow to, uh, reduce it. The officials started to talk about it, and yeah, it was a serious problem at the time, and I don't know what about today. I just look at this question and uh, take deforestation responsibility, and I wait. Did I got this question right generally? Yeah, got right, and I don't. I guess they more likely take it serious. At least, as I mentioned, some officials paid attention to deforestation, and they started to talk about these questions that they have to reduce it and get rid of this method of getting resources, and that economy has to work with you to another things, you know. I know, so hard. So, what do you think the future of Earth's forests looks like? Um, to be honest, I think in the future, different governments that they have already realized the issue of that, but in the future, this question will be discussed seriously, and I guess those trees, they will be planted. I don't know, plant is the word, like planted. I guess planted. So those trees, those forests will be planted, and we won't face this issue anymore, because I guess it's temporary problem. It's the problem that is possible to reduce pretty easy, you know. So I guess we won't face any troubles with that in one moment in different governments when we have some such issue. Governments will realize the severity of the problem, and will plant more trees, and probably they will change. They might change some law about it. Like if you are cutting trees, you are getting penalty, something like this, and I, I think in the future we will get even better nature than we have nowadays. However, it depends on the country, because as I mentioned, in Belgium, for example, there are perfect nature, and I'm not sure that there's something to improve in this case. Probably there's some slight things to improve, but some slight areas to improve, but generally it's in a good condition. Alright, that's all for today. That's all questions that I had, and to be honest, I'm afraid of those questions more. The worst that I get today is disturbing from my siblings, because I can't concentrate on those questions. I concentrate how should I ask them to shut up, because it distracts me. Alright, as I said, that's all for today. Thanks to someone watching, and see you next time.